October 1944. The Allied advance into Germany had begun, and Aachen was the first major city in their path. Once a proud imperial capital, Aachen became a fortress. Street by street, house by house, American troops fought through sniper fire, artillery, and rubble. By the end of the battle, the city lay in ruins, but it marked a turning point. This was the first German city to fall. Today, we revisit the streets of Aachen through 10 haunting photos that show what they looked like then and what they've become now. Let's begin with our first image. This moment was captured during the early days of the battle, and as you can see, we have rare footage of the exact same scene, just seconds before the photo was taken. 2 American machine gunners are firing from the edge of a bomb crater, covering a long, empty street in central Aachen. Every window ahead could be hiding a sniper. Every doorway, a threat. These men were part of the 1st Infantry Division, advancing slowly through the ruins, under constant fire. This was the front line. Today, that same street is almost unrecognizable, but it's just one of many corners of Aachen where the war left its mark. Our second image was taken on October 15, 1944, in Elsastrasse, near the center of the city. American soldiers are seen here maneuvering a 57mm anti-tank gun, with the help of an M2A1 half-track. The cobbled street is covered in debris, and the buildings ahead have already taken heavy damage. We don't know the exact moment this captures, but it's clear. The gun is being brought forward during one of the city's most intense days of fighting. And today, this exact intersection is quiet, lined with parked cars, shop windows, and people heading to work. It's one of many places where destruction once filled the streets, and where traces of it still remain, if you know where to look. Just outside Aachen, in the town of Würselen, we find our third image. PFC Hermann G. Bülow, of the US Army, is crouched in the doorway of number 45 Scherberger Strasse. He's holding position alone, watching the street from the shadows of this small brick house. The fighting here was intense. House to house, room to room. Every corner had to be cleared. And this photo captures a rare, quiet moment, the kind that made up most of the war, but rarely made it to film. Today, this house is still standing clean, quiet, and anonymous. The only sign of what happened here is the number above the door. Back in the heart of Aachen, our fourth image shows a US private crouched in a destroyed doorway, speaking to headquarters by radio. He's holding position at a busy junction that once marked the southern edge of the American advance. Behind him, the entire structure has been blasted open. Only the front wall is still standing. You can see the tension in his posture. One hand on his lap, one on the receiver. Even standing still was dangerous here. Today, that same corner is home to a bakery. The steps are clean, the lights warm, and the only thing echoing from the door is the smell of bread. We return now to Würselen, the same quiet suburb, just outside Aachen, seen earlier, but this time it's from a different street, and a different moment in the fight. It's October 16, 1944. Soldiers of the US 29th Infantry Division edge forward. Weapons drawn, their path lined by shattered homes. One house is torn wide open. A snapshot of the brutal close-quarters combat that defined the battle for Aachen. Today, the same row of houses still stands, rebuilt, repainted, and silent. You wouldn't know what happened here unless you've seen this photo. Our sixth image brings us back into the streets of Aachen during the heat of battle. We see soldiers from the US 26th Infantry Regiment pulling a wounded comrade to safety, while a Sherman tank stands guard nearby its turret, turned ready to cover their retreat. This is urban warfare at its rawest. Split-second decisions in shattered neighborhoods. Today, this same corner is calm and rebuilt. Parked cars line the curb, apartment windows gleam, and the streets bustle quietly with everyday life. But once you've seen this photo, you can't look at it the same way again. In this photo, US forces prepare for another push. 3 M10 Wolverine tank destroyers from the 684th Tank Destroyer Battalion are dug in among the rubble, positioned behind makeshift barricades of timber and sandbags. They're aiming down a narrow path, likely waiting for German armor to emerge from the shattered city streets. To the right, a heavily shelled building bears the scars of the intense fighting. This wasn't a static defense, it was a deliberate hold, buying time as infantry advanced and engineers cleared the ruins ahead. That same spot today is now part of a quiet residential block. The buildings have changed, and the rubble is long gone, a different picture to what it saw all those years ago. We're now at the entrance of Aachen Air Station, a key position during the battle for the city. This photo was taken on October 20, 1944. Rolling through the arch is a Sherman tank, nicknamed Catalina Kid. From Company C, 745th Tank Battalion, they were advancing under heavy pressure, clearing out pockets of resistance near the city's rail viaduct. Around them, debris and broken timber marked the chaos that once filled these streets. Today, the same archway remains untouched by battle, used only by passing commuters. But 80 years ago, it echoed with gunfire and tank engines. Back on Adalbert Steenweg, but this time, we're looking east toward the courthouse and St. Alderbert's Church. In this photo, a US anti-tank crew has taken cover behind rubble, aiming their 57mm gun down the street. They're firing toward fortified German positions deeper in the city. The men belong to the 1st Infantry Division, the unit that fought its way into Aachen block by block. Today, this same stretch of road is lined with shops, traffic, and apartment blocks. The chaos is gone, but the shadows of history linger. This is number 10, and the final photo in our journey through the battle for Aachen. A seemingly endless line of German prisoners, captured during the final days of the fight, marches through the broken city. There's no order to it, no pride, just tired faces, shuffling toward captivity. The battle is over, the city lost. They pass shattered homes, cracked windows, and streets littered with rubble, the same streets they once defended. Today, that road is clean and peaceful, lined with fresh paint, trimmed trees, and the quiet hum of civilian life. But 80 years ago, it looked like this. And with that, our journey through the ruins of wartime Aachen comes to a close. 10 places, each one a witness to history, each one still standing.